When you do this, it's going to give you significantly more insights into the opportunities to understand the strengths and weaknesses of that particular sector. Imagine you were told you need to get brain surgery. Would you go to your local general surgeon or a tree doctor? Or would you find someone who is specialized in brain surgery? I'm guessing that the chances are fairly strong that you would look for someone who's only specialized in brain surgery, who's lots of experience, and perhaps where you can find some reviews about that person. And where or how are you going to do that? You're probably going to look for referrals from your doctor. You're maybe going to go online and do a Google search. You might even check them out on LinkedIn. That's what people do when they are looking for a specific solution to their problem, or when they're seeking a specific industry expert to help them get from where they are now to where they want to get to, their ultimate vision of success. In this episode of the Master Your Business Show, I am talking to you about niching and how to dominate your niche and why you need to do this. Now, as I'm recording this episode, there is torrential rain and thunder and lightning and all sorts of things happening outside. So hopefully that won't dampen the tone of the message that I'm portraying for you today. So you might be thinking, okay, Deirdre, what is a niche? I kind of get a little bit of what you're talking about there with the brain surgeon, but what actually is a niche? So, great question. I don't think I really knew this before I started my business either. I think I probably had an idea because I was familiar with market segmentation and customer relationship management systems and using those to be able to target specific members of my portfolio when I managed large portfolios, lending money when I was in my old corporate banking career. Essentially, a niche is a target audience. You can determine that target audience by thinking about their demographics, their psychographics, or there's loads of other ways that you can determine what your niche is. And sometimes it could be the problem that you solve, a specific thing that you do that makes you unique at it. A niche can be a form of a strategy. So think about identifying and selling to a niche market as potentially a short or a long-term strategy in your business. The key is finding who is your target audience and tailoring everything you do just for them. A significant mistake that so many business owners make is that they niche to the mainstream. This is what happens when your business starts out and you think that if you narrow down what your services are, or if you narrow down who your services are for, then you're never going to make any money. Well, let me tell you, my friend, that is not the case. What happens actually is that when you niche down, your business is probably going to grow even more. New and growing businesses yield better marketing results and customer experience satisfaction. Why? Because your message, when you put it out there in the first place, saying what you do and who it's for, you are much more likely to attract your ideal client, and then you'll be able to solve their specific problem because you have a unique and tailor-made solution. You are the brain surgeon equivalent, okay? So that's why it's important. But here's some more reasons why. The logic is simple. Trying to cater to the whole world, the entire market, as in everyone, everywhere, and offering them everything will take a lot more of investment in terms of your time, your money, and whatever technology you might have. So, by serving a narrower market, you will better utilize your resources. You will be better able to increase your output, and you will be much more likely to develop a loyal customer base who can go on to become your business's cheerleaders. So how does niching enable you to develop a stronger market position and offer? Okay, so I'm going to really dive into this question quite a bit. When you narrow down your focus, you are also narrowing down the things that influence your sector or industry. When you do this, it's going to give you significantly more insights into the opportunities to understand the strengths and weaknesses of that particular sector. You'll be able to gain greater clarity on the market and your competitors and build an irresistible offers to your ideal clients. Your message will be clearer and more specific. And so many of the clients that I meet, in fact, probably the last 5 or 6 clients who've worked with me on their marketing message and their website and their brand, what they tell me that they want to become or to be seen as is a thought leader in their industry. They want to be seen as knowledge leaders, as experts, as the authority, the go-to person when it comes to what it is that they do. So when you niche, this is one of the ways it helps you to develop a stronger market position and offer. Because everything that you speak about, every bit of content that you create, it's going to relate to your ideal client's industry. It's going to relate to the field of expertise that you're focusing on. That means then, again, think back to the brain surgeon, folks. That means that people will be more confident in your brand and your offering because you will appear to be an expert. That's not to say that when you niche or narrow your focus that every client experiences a cookie cutter solution. But it's far less likely that you'll have to develop something new for every single client that you onboard. Your process, framework, and structure for your irresistible offer will be the same because your clients will inevitably have similar pain points. And so those similar pain points are going to require similar solutions. The result is that it makes it easier for you to be able to deliver higher quality programs or higher quality products or higher quality services, whatever it is that you do in your business. And those are going to be the things that are in keeping with what your ideal clients are looking for, and do it in a way where you can create incredible value. And let me just touch back on that cookie cutter solution for a moment. Recently, I was reading a book, I think it's called Made to Stick, and in there it talks about frameworks for writing your marketing message. And some of you who may have found me on social media will know that I'm a StoryBrand certified guide. And so what that means is I have steps that I follow that help me to be better able to produce a marketing message so that when clients implement it and apply it on their social media, their digital marketing, their website, wherever, that message is really clear. Now, when I refer to cookie cutter with this, literally what I'm doing is I'm following rules as a guide that help prompt me to make sure that message is clear, that it's memorable, that there is concrete evidence to demonstrate the success that their clients get, and other things like that. But my point is that when we use rules like that in our businesses, it doesn't mean that the output is exactly the same. It doesn't mean that the message is any less bespoke to that individual client who has their individual brand and an individual brand personality, be it their business brand or their personal brand. It just means that all of the bases have been covered so that message is clear. So for you in your business, when you're creating something, that's what I mean by cookie cutter. It's an outline or a guide or a set of rules that you follow, a framework or a methodology that you use to make sure with absolute certainty that what you put out at the end of it meets all of those requirements. basically you're making sure that you cover all the bases so the end result is really great. So having frameworks that you use are amazing. So I would encourage you to create a cookie cutter version of what your program, product, or service is so you can deliver higher quality outputs. And that is made even easier if you have narrowed down who your audience is. So I did kind of touch on the fact that niching makes it easier for your audience to trust you and become more loyal to your brand. And again, that can be because you are speaking their language. One of my amazing clients is a quantity surveyor, and his target audience are construction companies. If he spoke to his audience in the same way a software company might speak to a B2B audience who are also in software, I mean, his construction clients wouldn't have a clue what he's talking about. But he's literally been in their boots, like literally been in their boots on a building site. So he gets it and he knows how they speak. He doesn't use any other highfalutin language. He uses their exact language. He uses it on their website and on his social media and in his conversations with them. He's a witty guy, so he's witty on his social media. He's witty in his conversations and he's carrying through that personality. So it's not like, what do they call Jekyll and Hyde when he engages with them in reality. It's not like one is really serious and professional and the other is very casual and normal. It's the same across both or every channel in which his clients will engage with him. So he is literally speaking their language. And when you identify your niche and you really thoroughly research them, oh, this part I love, you can quote them verbatim or verbatim, however you want to say it, in your messaging, making them feel like you were speaking to them personally. And oh my God, I had that experience myself this year. I was so thrilled. I updated my own website. And folks, let me tell you, it's a bit like, you know, the car mechanic whose car keeps breaking down or the cobbler with no shoes. It's so hard to do your own stuff sometimes because you're so close to it. And that, my friend, is why clients hire me in the first place. It's because they have that curse of knowledge and insider language, and that's where they struggle. But my point is, on my website, I updated my website. I sent it out to a few people and I asked them to have a look at it, read through the language and tell me what they thought. And one of them came back to me and said, Deirdre, it's like you were talking to me personally. It was like you were inside my head. Let me tell you, I did my little happy dance. I was absolutely thrilled. That was exactly the feedback I wanted, and that person was an ideal client. Amazing, right? So you're going to be communicating with an audience of people for whom your message is intended when you narrow down your focus. And that way, people think that you're like-minded to them. This helps to build trust, especially when you consistently name who those people are, when you name what their problem is, when you empathize with them and touch on that right emotion. And when you're creating something that's exclusively for them, they're going to feel cared for and valued, which can really drive loyalty in your business. Here's a customer experience statistic for you, folks. It is 70% more cost effective to retain existing clients than it is to go out and try and recruit new ones. So the result when you narrow down your audience is that your ideal clients feel understood, they feel heard and valued, all of which go a long way towards establishing those long, loyal, lasting relationships built on trust. Niching doesn't have to be something that's disingenuous. It just simply means that you're showing up to serve a specific audience, and that's where your focus is. Another major advantage is that you can reduce your competition. You can obliterate them and wipe them out completely if you want to. So instantly, when you niche and narrow who your audience is, you instantly reduce your competition. You can gain a competitive edge in a saturated market. When you're a big fish in a small pond, It presents opportunities to take more significant advantage of your network, to take, let's say, dial in on your messaging, and thereby really setting yourself up to become a true go-to expert for your audience. All your work to successfully establish yourself in your niche can lead you to this point. You won't just be saying in your marketing message that you're the go-to industry expert. You'll legitimately be a credible industry authority. This means you can become a big fish in a small pond, with the opportunity to dominate your niche by becoming the biggest fish. Imagine that that's what your brand reputation was. You'll have even more demand for your services and be able to choose to work with perhaps only high-paying clients. Clients who serve your business and who you can serve exceptionally so that you can grow your bottom line and perhaps they can grow theirs if you're B2B. Another advantage is that the more specific your niche is, the harder it will be for competitors to model, copy, or imitate your marketing efforts and offers. And when you are unique in how you show up and serve, the result is that prospective clients will not be able to compare your offers with your competitor because of how bespoke you are. It'll be literally like comparing apples and oranges. So the significant advantage in niching like this is that you avoid a race to the bottom by competing on price. The benefit is that you have ample opportunity to charge more for your work, which means you can master your business and become more profitable. Here's another reason why it's amazing to niche down, not only just to dominate your market and all of those other things I've just said. When you narrow down your marketing message and your sales conversations, you will become more impactful and convert more prospect clients into actual paying clients. Here's why. Specificity attracts. When you are specific with your marketing message and your brand story, it can pay massive dividends when you're trying to stop people scrolling on social media when they fall into that scroll hole. Calling out who you serve in your message can be the very thing that literally makes them stop scrolling. Because they're thinking, what is in it for me? Is there something here that's going to benefit me? And rather than learn about the world's problems, you can learn about your specific niche's problems, and then you can market them accordingly. This is critical because people stop listening when you stop talking about their problems. So whether you're engaging clients through social media or a sales call, your in-depth knowledge of your target audience will help you address their needs and make a much more impactful impression. Your personalized messaging will help you build stronger rapport with prospects and clients. It's that all know, like, and trust factor that you hear and have been hearing for years. That's not going anywhere. It's still that sense of know, like, and trust. And so when your focus is narrow and the sector you serve is narrow, that's how you position yourself as a leader. And this can be the very thing that differentiates you and helps create loyal client relationships, as I said. With a smaller customer base, yes, you will engage with fewer people, but this means you get to know more people individually, and you're going to be better equipped to follow up on any of their questions or concerns when you're nurturing them during those stages where they're leads, and then later on after they become clients. So folks, I hope that you now have a strong sense of why it's important to niche. And remember, here are a few points to remember. Specificity attracts in every sense. When you market to a niche or niche, depending what you call it, you will have a much better opportunity to grow a successful business because your message will be focused on that audience's problems. If you don't talk about problems, there are no problems. Do a deep dive to determine precisely what those problems are and use that exact language that your customers are using to help you with your marketing and your sales messaging. Remember that when you narrow your focus, you can create an even more significant opportunity to have high ticket offers for fewer people. That can result in more profitability and create the space for you to become and be seen as an industry expert. To help you with this, folks, I've created a checklist. It's like a questionnaire. It's your ultimate guide on what you need to do to figure out how to find your niche and, more importantly, how to dominate it. So check out the guide from the show notes. You'll get the link there, deirdremartinconsulting.ie/master your business. Click on the episode, and in the show notes, you are going to find exactly what you need to find who your niche is, and as I say, more importantly, how to dominate it. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Master Your Business Show, my fellow brain surgeons.